House prices rising $417 an hour. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at this article from Domain discussing, Northern Beaches house prices jump $867,000 a year. $417 an hour, guys. Now, I know it's the Northern Beaches in Sydney. We're not talking average housing here, but still, this highlights an issue, guys. A fundamental issue of our civilization, of our entire nation, our obsession with property. It disincentivizes investment in other aspects of our economy, and it results in our economic complexity falling, everyone. The complexity of our economy, what people invest in, incentives to start business, incentives to innovate. We're never going to have another metal storm in Australia, I imagine. A backyard tinkerer that innovates and creates a new product and then lists and goes on to success for some time and then doesn't. Why not when you do housing? Then do a course on how to get into housing and sell that course or start an education business in housing. The cost of buying a house on Sydney's Northern Beaches has jumped by a jaw-dropping $867,000. Over the past year, new data reveals equating to a cool $417 an hour based on a 40-hour work week. The median house price for the region is now $2.7 million, up 46% on year ending September. The latest Domain house price report released on Thursday shows. We're talking here housing that is definitely at the upper end, everyone. But now you've got to remember, the median in Sydney is just about $1.5 million. Prior to the pandemic, the median house price in the region was sitting at $1.9. But a rising tide of cashed-up buyers from across Sydney looking for land and lifestyle has seen both people and prices push north. Once snubbed for being too far from the CBD for city workers, the lockdown has given the region an entirely new appeal that ticks all the boxes for the new world order, agents say, in which working from home has become the norm. Perhaps not the best choice of words there. The conspiracy theorists still go crazy. Luckily, a politician didn't say it. It's just far enough from the city to feel like a world away, yet close enough to complete the commute to work once or twice a week if needed, said Cunningham Real Estate Managing Director John Cunningham. It's the fact that people are now not only valuing their internal space in the home, but they're valuing where they live. They want to be on the coast, access to the harbour, bush and beaches. The transport to the city concept is no longer such a big thing, he said. But demand has outstripped supply and caused a meteoric house price rise this year that would not be sustained into next year, he said. You can't have another year of 46% increase, he said. One thing we do know is that more people want to move here than leave here, but affordability will disappear and mortgage stress will increase. I mean, there you go, everyone. 43%, 41%, 38%, 37%, 37%. It's supply and demand, everyone. What we're seeing playing out here is just simply supply and demand. That's what it is. The Northern Beaches housing market has galloped away even from the citywide median of 1.499, which rose 30.4% over the past year. Demand on the Northern Beaches has been mainly driven by owner-occupiers and returning expats, with buyers searching for months on end and regularly missing out at auction half a dozen times. In 1 month, 3 cashed-up buyers traded up their small eastern suburb properties for large houses on decent parcels of land in Allumby Heights, Mr. Cunningham said. One buyer traded their Edgecliff home for $2.5 million and bought a house for $3.2, while another sold a semi-detached house for $2.3 and bought a freestanding house for $2.75. It was competition from buyers like these that kept locals Nathan Hampson and his partner Kaz Patterson in a nightmare buyer's loop for an entire year until they finally nabbed a home in Avalon Beach for $2.27. They began with a maximum budget of $1.8 last Christmas, but they were quickly priced out. All of a sudden, there was nothing at all for 1.8 million. We were thinking we don't have any hope. What was the achievable dream was punched out by 500,000, Mr. Hampson said. After compromising on their criteria of a garage and a backyard, with a lawn, they put in pre-auction offer on an Avalon Beach property. Mr. Hampson believes it was accepted in the end because they formed an emotional connection with the downsizing vendors during their inspection one afternoon. A lawn would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world. It all just worked out. It's crazy. I can't believe it. Their mortgage broker and principal at Mortgage Choice, DY, James Alga, said he had never seen so many big-ticket sales in the region. There have been 18 or 20 sales north of 4.5 million just in Colorado, when the previous year there was less than half that, he said. I've had 4 clients sell this month to buyers from the other side of the harbour. Those include Hunters Hill, Balmain, and 2 lower Northern Shore buyers. The median unit prices, unit prices. Look at those increases, guys. As a result, the unit market has picked up too, with the median price in Northern Beaches rising 34.2 to 1.2 million. Again, it is streets ahead of the citywide unit median of 800,000, which rose just 9.5%. Units haven't really been keeping up with housing, particularly in Sydney and Melbourne. I can't remember a time where we've seen so many 2- and 3-bedroom units trading close to 2 million, he said, adding that units would continue to grow in the new year as a result. LJ Hooker, Avalon Beach principal Peter Robinson, said buyers from the eastern suburbs were trading up in droves, having realised they've got a lot more property for their money on the northern beaches. When you look at this area, we're relatively cheap. A lot of people have done well in other areas, they said. I can take my $5 million or $10 million home from the eastern suburbs postage stamp parcel of land and move up this way where I can get 1,000 square meters of land with a palatial-style family home right on the beach. The region's skyrocketing prices had been driven not only by buyers willing to relocate permanently to the peninsula, but also by part-time residents and holiday home buyers, he said. While he conceded the price rise would not last, he said the area was well placed to hold its value for some time. I don't think come October 22 we're going to see a 46.1% growth, he said. This place is really insulated well now. The demand is very consistent. It's no coincidence that areas within an hour and a half that offer something of a lifestyle basis are becoming increasingly popular, everyone. Well, let's have a bit of a talk about this. Now, obviously, we're looking at the upper end of the market here. $417 growth in a house per hour is insane, but this shows you, everyone. Even in Sydney, the median is approaching $1.5 million. Now, this disincentivizes people from investing in other things. Houses are essentially government-backed, government-guaranteed. We've seen all the intervention the government does to prop up the sector, prop up the demand for housing in Sydney, guys. I can't say I'm at all surprised with this. Now, the issue is that, well, it's going to disincentivize us, everyone. So what I would suggest, I want to recommend this video here where we look at just the economic complexity of Australia, guys, and how it's been impacted by property. So take care, and I'll see you all in the next video, guys. $400 an hour.